Welcome to Home and Away, a Tottenham Hotspur podcast hosted by myself, Graeme Spice, and Glen Cowie, where we discuss all things Tottenham Hotspur with both a match attending and international supporters view. In this week's episode, we'll review the Brighton match from Saturday, and we look forward to the Doncaster Rovers League Cup match, third round, and the next Premier League match on Saturday night where we play Wolves. Let's get into it.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on, closer each day.
Hey Glenn, how are you doing?
I'm good, Graeme. How are you, mate? Good to see you as always.
I'm
good. Doing well.
Don't talk to me about weather. I'm assuming it's getting better and better there. So,
In theory, it should be, but we've had a bit of a cold snap the last few days. But that
it was
cold
only
snap
30
has been
degrees.
the cold snap's been like 14, 15. But I'm less worried about the weather here because I'm heading to Vietnam on Saturday, which I know will be humidity 1,000,000% and 32 degrees, I think. So, yeah, but broadly, I'm good, mate. And I see we have our guests looking very good, Joao, in the current Spurs away kit. But Graeme, we've got Joao on. I understand Joao is a co-worker of yours. So are you responsible for this? Are you responsible?
I am. I think I'm, and he's the second one that we've had on who through belligerence and me talking about Tottenham non-stop eventually becomes a Tottenham fan as well. So welcome, Joao.
Welcome. Thanks for the invite. I'm not here obligated, so
yeah, appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Do appreciate it. So I guess, Glenn, that you're going to ask the usual questions that we ask of our guests.
Yeah. So you've answered part of it there, Graeme, for Joao, but obviously I always like to ask why Tottenham and why they had a particular influence on that's why you picked, and then any recent or memories that stand out for you. And of course, I'd be actually keen, Joao, we've got Paulinho, who is obviously Portuguese, so I'd be keen to get your views on him as well. But over to you, Joao. Why Spurs, other than Graeme bullying you into it?
No, man. So Graeme already knows why I'm keen and about Spurs. Because of in the past, in the game of Championship Manager, of the main ones, let's say, it was the team that I always pick. And also the turning point, it was when I start really to follow Spurs, it was during the sign of Elder Postiga, if you remember.
Oh, wow.
So it was because it
I've never forgiven him for the goal it would have been Euro.
I know.
Euros.
Panenka penalty.
Yeah.
Very well.
He did very little for Tottenham, and then he knocked England out. So.
Yes.
When I was chatting with Joao before, I looked at it. He played 24 matches for us in total, 19 league matches. I think he's got about 4 goals.
Yeah.
So he didn't exactly shine.
You bought him very young, I think, and didn't went well. And he came back to Porto, and once again, he played very well.
I think we did that a lot through that period, right? We were buying prospects, like young players that had high ceiling, but we never realised a lot of those high ceilings from a lot of the players that we bought around that time. We had a lot of, I can think of about a dozen players that didn't quite cut it. But yeah, interesting.
So Joao, have you got to a game yet? Have you been to the stadium, new Spurs stadium, or old stadium for that matter? Have you been to a Spurs game yet?
No, I'm looking for it.
So we're planning that at the moment.
We are planning, yes, to do that.
Excellent.
It's one of the stadiums that I want to visit.
And with Joao's dad as well. So
yes,
we'll get them both coming over for a match.
So you mentioned Helder Postiga as an old memory. Any recent things that jump out to you as far as like any era that you yearn towards and say, oh yes, it was a Pochettino era that you liked, or Harry Redknapp, or more recently when we obviously won the Europa League under Postecoglou, or any kind of memories that jump out to you, Joao?
Yes. I'm trying to remember his name also because I was following a lot of games of him. The French guy that was playing in the left wing.
Was this
Ginola?
Ginola.
Yeah.
Yes, I was loving also a lot of his games, and more recently I was following just the Portuguese players that you are buying, and more recently I was not only the Portuguese players but also with Pedro Porro, that when he was playing against Benfica, it's one of the players that I will want him for my teams. When I saw that whereas there was that chance that Spurs will buy him, for me, I was so happy. And also I'm following him because he's a very good right wing.
Yeah.
And more recently with Palhinha, that Graeme, I know that he had some doubts about him, but for me,
I mean, he's really good at what he does.
He is the perfect six, but my question is, Joao, your namesake, Joao Palhinha, is he... I look at Portuguese midfielders almost similar to how I look at Brazilian midfielders, right? And when you look at how Palhinha plays, he doesn't scream to me Portuguese. When I think of Portuguese midfielders, I think of Rui Costa or Luis Figo or Deco, you know? Is he that different, or is that quite commonplace in Portugal?
Do you not think that, though, and this is I will eat humble pie and say that I was wrong. For every Luis Figo or Rui Costa, there was probably a Palhinha sat behind them, allowing them to do the things that they were doing. So it's about balancing a team. Like, so I think he's freed up for us a lot of the players to be more creative, which we've needed. But then there are, and I think we covered this many times, which is that in games where we have more possession, then I don't think he's as effective, because he's better when we haven't got the ball than he is when we have the ball, because his single duty is to destroy everything, not to create anything.
And he's perfect doing that.
And he's very good at it. Yeah, he is very good at it.
But does he do that for Portugal as well in terms of to that ceiling?
Well, but right now he's competing against just a little guy that's with the name of Vitinha. That's right now.
Yeah,
he's on the third place
in the Ballon d'Or tonight. Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
And but it's a kind of a choice from the coach, I think, for me right now, and it depends on the game for me, because Vitinha, it's a guy with amazing his fit, but you will not count with Vitinha just to be like a Palhinha that needs to recover in the next second the ball and destroy the game of the team, and he's like excellent in the anticipation for me. Vitinha, it's a guy to create from behind the game.
Yeah.
So
he more controlled the match.
Yeah. So right now it's lucky for me as
I was going to say
Portuguese.
It's a great problem to have.
Coach,
definitely a good problem to have.
Mentioning Portuguese, then, so we've established you're not a Sporting Lisbon fan, Benfica, but what's your viewing experience like in Portugal then? Do you have all of the games? Because you're the same time zone as the UK, right?
Yeah.
So do you have the games on TV, or do you go to the pub, or how does that work?
No, normally here it's forget about the pubs. It's people stay at home or go to the stadiums.
I know the answer.
We don't have that culture.
Glenn, I know the answer to this one, because basically mine and Joao's job is to get TV to the Portuguese people.
Yes.
For one of our customers. So, and I happen to have one of the set-top boxes set over there.
Do you know what?
And we, apart from the three big clubs, Porto, Benfica, and Sporting, the other clubs don't have the full stadiums. Yeah. That's why I like a lot, and Graeme knows that I'm following a lot the English games, and it's one of also my desires. So just to visit and to watch the game there, because of the mood and also all the stadium full. You have these in the three main clubs, but in the other clubs, if you go as a Benfica fan going to a stadium away, it's like less than half of the stadium it will be empty.
Wow.
Yeah.
So most of the people stay at home and watch the games there.
I watched a video the other day, and it was a couple of northern British supporters. They were asked, name 6 Portuguese teams, and they couldn't get to 6.
Well,
Braga will be the next one, I would.
Braga is always up there, isn't it?
Yes.
Because I think Braga, for me, Spurs played them so many times.
What's the other one that was that Marcus Edwards started at another one, didn't he? Before
Guimarães or Vitória. The correct name is Vitória. Yes.
Yeah. So they are not too bad.
Yeah, it's a classical fifth and fourth. Fourth, it's more Braga, but the fifth, it's Guimarães and.
But Braga has that amazing the stadium with the mountain at one end of it, doesn't it?
Isn't it a big
Yes.
rock or something?
Yeah, like a
It was like an old quarry.
Yeah.
That they have used to build the stadium. It's very
cool.
beautiful. The
That
stadium.
was one of the ones for the Euros, wasn't it? If I
Yes.
recall.
Yes.
Yeah, very
We
nice.
don't. Maybe Joao doesn't want to talk about that, even though they've won it since when Greece.
What? Yeah, it was a win.
Yeah,
that's kind of up there with the Denmark winning it, wasn't it?
Oh
like,
yeah. But
you'd have won good money betting on Greece to win that.
But you
Even
wrote
worse.
you wrote the wrong in 2016, right? When you was in France and Eder. I remember Eder. I always refer to Eder scoring with his head. Eder, he's a good little player. That no, good stuff. Pivoting back to Spurs, Graeme, the Brighton game. Did I get that prediction spot on? Did I say 2-2?
You think you said 1?
I think I said score draw, didn't I?
You did. And I said no score draw, so you win on that.
Yeah, I win. I tell you what, though, I said this to you, and I think I said it to a few other mates. I think I'm right in saying Brighton have only lost one game at home this calendar year. So I think that result, I don't think, put it this way, I don't think many teams will go there and win. I do think that that's a really good point, and I think the manner how we got the point is everything what we weren't last season.
Yeah,
we've been 2-0 up.
We'd have lost that last season.
Correct. So the standouts for me, I thought Bergvall again was really good. I thought Udogie was excellent, getting forward as much as defending. I think Romero had a pretty good game. And then when he came on, and I hope he hasn't had a knock or it's bad, but he looked to drop off once he'd had a bit of a knock when he was taken out. But Xavi Simons, he was so influential, and then all of a sudden he dropped off, but it was after he'd had treatment, and it looked like either his calf or his Achilles or something. So I hope he's okay. But he as well, he's a number 10, isn't he? And it just, again, highlights...
The difference playing him in the middle compared to playing him on the left was like night and day, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just pulled the strings. And it just highlights for me, Odegaard isn't it, Johnson isn't it, Tell isn't it, we need a proper left winger. Hopefully we go and get one in January. But overall, I was really impressed with the performance. Graeme, it was what time? Yeah, it was a 3 p.m. kickoff, wasn't it? So did you watch it?
Yes, I did. Don't ask
how,
you found but I did.
On your own, or did you have company?
When was this?
Would have been Saturday.
Yeah. No, I did. I watched it on my own.
Yeah.
This one.
And what did you make of it, mate? Were you as infused as I was?
I was obviously 2-0 down. I wasn't quite as enthusiastic as I maybe should have been. But I did think that in the first, we really came out the blocks quickly. It reminded me of like Brentford, how they used to always start really quickly. They used to do it like at the beginning of the game and coming out after half time. They really, and we made some good chances. And then, the Minte goal was a good goal. Very, very marginal, the offside for me.
It was very tight.
Where we're comparing shirt sleeves, that's never a good sign, right? And then the second goal, I think that Vicario obviously should have done a lot better with that.
Good goal, though. I think it's
well taken, but it was right at him, right? And he had two hands on it. There's no way that should be going in the net, but never mind. And then good poacher's goal from Richarlison. And then good cross from Kudus for the own goal. I think, and we made lots of chances. I mean, I think in the end we had 11 shots, 3 on target, which isn't bad for as an away team. Had much more possession than the other team, 64% to 36. So all in all, I came away pretty happy with the result. I think in the end, when you come away from a game that you've been 2-0 down in and you're ruining the fact that you didn't win it, that shows that there's some fight in the team, and the comeback showed a lot of passion.
And I'll come to you in a moment, Joe. I'm keen to get your view. Richarlison, not only did he score again, but he didn't get injured. He's not.
I can't believe it. It's like like the Springfield nuclear reactor, where it's like how many days since the last meltdown. It's like I feel a bit like. 4 games since last Richarlison injury. Well,
we'll get into it in a bit, but you'd expect him to be rested against Doncaster as well, so he should be playing against Wolves, you'd expect. But Joao, did you see the game, mate? Did you see the Brighton game?
No, only the highlights, and also due to the hour, because as a Portuguese, we lunch until late. But I saw the highlights. And yes, for me, it was a really surprise. And also the commitment from the team on the second half.
To come back. Yeah.
Yes. And also one of the...
He must have been
like
about
that guy
14. He's still quite young now, right? He must have been
He
a young
was
guy.
was very, very young, but we saw quality in that fit. And for me, once again, I like it a lot when he enters, and I think he just changed a little bit more the team and going to more forward.
What?
I think with him central, it was better
I was
than
gonna say
the games
that,
where he's played
but-
on the left.
Question for maybe both of you on the topic of Xavi. Like, why didn't he start? Like, was that as a surprise that he didn't start him? Because I thought Odebert on the left, I was like, all right, fair enough. Why wouldn't you start him?
It was also a surprise for me.
Yeah,
because I'm expecting also for the coach to use him at the left, especially because you are lacking in terms of left wingers. I don't know, but I like it. As Graeme said, I like him to watch him in the middle.
And I think that I can understand us. What I do like is that we've changed players in every match, so we've been able to rotate, and maybe this is the way we avoid the constant injuries that we've already got, like 5 or 6 injuries, right? So we don't want any more. So maybe it means that we do end up rotating players a little bit, and they don't all play every match. But I've thought Brighton was a weird one to rotate him. I mean, I could understand you leaving him out of Doncaster on Wednesday, for instance. But yeah.
But having said that, there's very little for me to be too upset with, right? We've clearly got depth. We've got depth coming off the bench. We're third in the league. We've conceded 3 goals. I mean, it's night and day from last season in the league. So I'm pretty happy going into, which we'll get to in a minute, a game against bottom of the table Wolves. Whereas before I'd be like, Dr. Tottenham will see you now. I think we should take care of Wolves, I hope. But before that, we've got Doncaster. But I'm pretty happy. I do think we still need a left winger. And I'm hoping that we're going to spend some money in January to make that happen, because that'll be here before we know it, right? It's October soon. As I said, when Levy exited the building, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens if we are well placed in the league in January, if we're going well in the League Cup, so Champions League, we're caught in the knockout, and all we need is that one player, maybe a left winger, a Savinho, to come in and make the difference if we go and spend big in January to make that happen. So I'm pretty happy, Graeme, just overall. It's quite refreshing in the leagues. I don't know if you've got a different opinion, either of you, but I'm pretty buoyed by what I'm seeing.
No, 100%. I think it's nice to have a set of coaches that are able to tweak the way that we play to suit the teams that we're playing against. And I think we said this last time again, where you want to give the other team something to worry about rather than always be worrying about the other team. But I don't think he does that. I think he's very good at finding the weakness, the chink in the other team's armour, and playing accordingly. So like choosing when to play Palhinha, when not to play him, choosing when to have more creative player up the pitch, or maybe to have an extra player in a more defensive midfield role. And he seems to be doing a good job of it. And I think Bournemouth was the one time where I just think he got it completely wrong, and he recognised that. But he's still learning, right? It's very, very early still, right, in his tenure.
And keep in mind, like talking about depth, we've still not really seen Danso. We've still got that Takai to come in, who's been injured. The guy we signed.
Takai to come in.
Yeah. Ben Davies hasn't featured. We've got a lot. And
there's some players there.
Yeah, we've got some players. Well, with that said, talking about players and depth and changes, Joao, I'd be interested to get your view on this. In Portugal, is there such a thing as games in certain competitions when it may be looked at that it's not as important? Or do you have the league, the Portuguese Cup maybe, and then obviously Champions League or Europa League? Do you have because the League Cup in England, I'd love to win it, but it's almost lost since, what would you say, Graeme, the early 2000s, late 90s. It's lost that, it's only the League Cup. So you might see a lot of changes in teams. Does that happen in Portugal? And on that topic, what do you think is going to happen on Wednesday as far as the team he picks? But I'll be keen to get your view, mate.
Yes, so it depends on the coach. From the previous coach that we had from Benfica, we had this small rotation, and that's why I know that
Is it
you will
Bruno
talk about it.
Lage?
Yes, was him, and he was doing, but just small, and that's why I know that you will talk about with your Europe or Champions game. That
Yeah.
I saw a lot of rotation, and you just should put your jumpsuit and just win 1-0 and allow you to do the rotation also for this game with Brighton. That's my view, and I prefer also to see this kind of rotation also. Because Portugal, it's well, we export players, let's say. And
Okay.
you need to leverage that kind of games like the league games, the internal league games, and also the cup games to bet on that players, the young players, to start and
Put them in the spotlight.
yes, and also to give you minutes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you will not use that, you will have. I will tell you a good example, like Bernardo Silva. He came from Benfica B or B, let's say the
Yeah.
B squad,
Yeah.
directly to Monaco. João Cancelo, also a brilliant right wing that came from Benfica B, B squad. I think for that time he went to Barcelona, I think. So I know that they are Benfica supporters and fans, but they didn't have the chance to show and to appear on the Benfica main squad.
It's something that happens on the continent, though, isn't it? A lot more in Spain and Portugal, and I don't know if Italy's the same, but there is that B team that they can get minutes in. Whereas I don't even know, Graeme. Like I remember back in the day, you'd have the reserves, but you got under 21.
It's not, we don't, and now we have a really big first team squad, right? So like 25 players plus youth players that are in and around that. But then, and then there's the under 21s, and even they play in some of the trophies against lower league teams as well now, right? I think in some of them.
Oh, they do, yes. In the EFL, it's not the League Cup, but it's the one. Yeah, I know. I know exactly
EFL trophy, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, the trophy. Yeah.
And then they play like there's the youth tournament that runs parallel with the Champions League. So like where they play for the league stages, they play all the same teams that the first team are playing. I think it's like under 19 though.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, we've had some really standout performances in that already this season. But you're right. If you're 27 and you're not playing football in the first team, there's not a lot of space for you in a club like Tottenham.
If you are 27, I think if you are in the main team or a major league,
you're probably
get retired.
But then look at Yves Bissouma, right? We tried to sell him in the summer, he just refused to go anywhere. Yeah. So like, he's earning good money, he's relatively happy, but he's not going to play a lot of football, and I think that's a shame. But there's just not I don't think there's the opportunity. You can rotate, right? We will rotate a lot. But if he's not trusted by the manager, which he clearly isn't, because he's not even, I don't think he's been in a matchday squad yet. And I know that he had a bit of a falling
Frank's
out
come
over
out
his
on record
attendance.
recently. I think Thomas Frank has come out and said, like, everyone's got the opportunity to impress me, but you would think he's got a lot ahead of him. Like
starting by turning up for training on time would be a good one, right?
This is it. Yeah, this is it. Just on the point around young players making squads, it got a bit overlooked and he didn't get any minutes. And I wonder if we'll see him against Doncaster, but Janai Byfield was on the bench against Villarreal. He's 16.
And the same day he played in that youth tournament. So he played and then went straight from that match to sit on the bench for the first team.
You have to wonder, did Frank or his coaches see something in him that warrants that progression quickly?
I would assume so.
This will make us feel very old. He was born 3 months before we last won the League Cup.
Don't. It's so bad.
But I wonder if we see him against Doncaster. Hopefully, because I think the academy, for me, we need to see more from that academy as far as what we're actually producing. Because we've obviously gone and we've built the squad with young players like the likes of Archie Gray and Bergvall, but we haven't had them in our academy. One player that we did have in our academy who scored in Europe last season, Ajayi, he's at Doncaster, but he probably won't play because he's on loan. So what kind of team are you expecting, Graeme? Home to Doncaster. I think it's going to be maybe a bit of a mix. Kingsley in goal, you would assume.
Just while we're talking about that, I think our approach for youth players
Yeah,
is when there's that kind of the bit between where they're under 21, they're playing regularly for the under 21 team, and like we've got some amazing players like Casanova. I forget who's the other guy who scored. He scored a hat trick last week. The name escapes me.
I know who you
The
mean.
double-barreled guy.
Yeah. I know who you
So
mean.
we've got a lot of really good players, and then we've got the players that are probably around that same age or just on the high end of it that we've now got out on loan, like Will Lancashire, who scored again. Who else? Who's the guy? Is it Tyrell Ashcroft? What? There's a guy that's gone out. There's a guy on loan at Notts County. He scored again. He scored as well. So we seem to do a lot more loans to get regular game time than actually. Do you think it's because the Portuguese league is? I think there are some excellent teams in that league, but the depth isn't that strong. So you could probably rotate more players against lower teams in that league whereas every game in the Premier League there's something on it. And also, there's so much money involved. I think it's 4 million for every league position. So the difference between like each league position is 4 million. So that's a lot. There's so much money at stake for every point in the league that it feels like you're much less likely to risk a youth player. And I know it happens. It does happen. We do it, but it's not. It's done sparingly rather than like last season. Bergvall and Archie Gray played over 45 matches each, I think, but that was
Which
never.
I think they end up really benefit.
Yeah, it definitely did. But it never was. There was never the intention for the season, was it? Because the only reason they play so frequently is because the amount of injuries we had. They would never have. They'd have probably played a handful of games in cup competitions, and that would have been it. Maybe sat on the bench a few times. So it's interesting.
With that said, then, like the Doncaster Rovers for you, is at home? If it was away, I could see a potential banana skin similar to what happened to United at Grimsby. But like, do you think he just massively changes it? Like in terms of using the squad, I expect he probably will, right?
I think
what's
he will.
Available.
I hope he doesn't change too much, right? Because that's when you start to lose the cohesion in the play and the tactics. And you've seen that before, right? When the old Poch changed 9 players and you put 9, 8 of them are internationals, but you put them on a pitch and they look like strangers who've just turned up at the field together. We really want to avoid that. So I'm hoping that the coaching has continued and that there is enough rotation that we rest some players, but also not rotate enough that we don't lose the cutting edge of the team or the defensive strength. All of the things that we've liked about what we've seen so far, that we don't lose that. Just looked at Doncaster's record this season, and it's not bad. They had a draw against Wickham, lost 1 at Port Vale away, then 4 wins on the spin. So Accrington, Rotherham, Everton under 21s, Bradford, and then they lost their last game 3-0 away at Wigan. So from that perspective, there's probably another game since then, but that when I looked at this, so there's nothing there. They're a League One team, right? So we know that you disrespect them at your peril. We still need to turn up and we need to match them for effort, and then the skill of the players should give us the difference between the two teams. But they'll be well organised. They will come to give us a game. It's going to be a big match for those players, right? So opportunity for them to be on telly in the spotlight.
Huge match for their club. Like in terms of, I heard that the booking system that they had online for people to apply for tickets crashed within like 10 minutes because so many people were interested in it. But Joao, is there a comparable fixture to this, like when Benfica would play a team that's 2 divisions or 3 divisions, whatever it is, below?
We've talked a lot about, I have with Joao, about the lower league Portuguese teams, and it's fascinating because
sorry for my ignorance, but do they exist? Like, is there? So go ahead, maybe inform me, because I just don't know.
Well, we have 3 lower leagues, okay, till the 3, and after this, it's just by districts. Let's say we don't have any. I think you are also at a point you are splitting your league between north and south. I think.
Yes. And the 6th tier down, it starts.
I think 6.
So there's the 4 fully professional leagues. There's the National League, which now is pretty much professional as well. And then there's the North and South Conference, or whatever it's
So
called now.
we are splitting by zones, let's say North, South, and Center on the third league in Portugal. Below that, it's districts. So we don't have that amount of leagues or lower leagues. But I think even last year, Benfica played against this fourth league. But normally the big clubs are playing in the away stadiums always, just to and giving them the ticket revenue.
It's cool.
Interesting.
Because
But there's
the game of the
difference between like a third or fourth tier team in England. We looked at this before, right? The attendances for the matches. It's tiny. It's like there's probably more people go and watch Yateley United over the road than go to some of these matches.
Attendance.
Yeah.
Good attendance. 1,000.
Yeah, like
It's
with
a good attendance.
and his dog.
Yeah.
Like, didn't you say like some of them are like it's just like some guy in the town who owns a petrol station and then he'll have a football club on the side of it. It's really like
yes, and the income and let's say everything, all the expenses from the club are paid by the petrol station that it's near to the station.
That's where you get your drinks and your food for the match.
So
it's
free
so
VIP
strange.
ticket.
Yeah,
that's why the petrol is so expensive in
I
Portugal.
was going to say, yeah, with every full tank of petrol, you get a free ticket.
you get a free left back.
Yeah. So what do you think, Joao, for Doncaster game? Do you see him making lots of changes as far as it's going to be a mixed bag, or how do you see that?
For me, I hope so. I'm looking forward also to see young players for Spurs to show and give them some minutes. Of course, I totally agree with you 100% that they should not rotate, like put a new 11 that starts. So, but I think the coach will know which position and the best players that
I trust him.
They are on the front line to replace one of the first team and to do a smooth transition for me. That's why I would like also for my Benfica for these kind of games with this such difference in terms of, I will not say quality, but in terms of probability to because for me it's the team that will win, it's the team that will run more. So
yeah,
Graeme. I expect to see Kinski in goal for this one.
Yeah, I was the same. Yeah,
so I think he needs match time, and I really hope that Colin Mwani's recovered from his
dead leg. Yeah,
if you saw this right, but up until this season, in his entire professional career, if you look at his record, I don't know how accurate it is. He's missed one game in his entire professional career, and he comes to Tottenham and he's already had another one.
Dead leg's always a funny one for me. I've had a dead leg. Like I've played football at not obviously professional level, but I've had a dead leg. I've just rubbed it really hard, strapped it, and played. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just a weird injury for me. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how he got it. Even.
Yeah.
It's probably like Romero punched him or something.
Yeah. Yeah. But I expect hopefully we do see him. Solanke not quite ready for the bench for that. Apparently, not quite.
Well, he said not. No, I don't think we'll see him. So
yeah.
But again, we've only really got. I guess Scarlett will be on the bench. He was on the bench on the weekend.
I noticed that. Yeah, because I thought he'd gone out on loan, but evidently not.
No, he's one of the ones who hasn't.
That's
fine.
I
don't know why.
I think that's quite well. I don't know. I think it's quite prudent to keep him. I mean, if you're going to give him some minutes, well, maybe we will see him against.
Maybe they'll do the same thing they did last season, and maybe Lancashire come back and he'll go out on loan.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Maybe because Lancashire's getting good game time now.
Well, A, are you going, Graeme, and B, do you expect it to be a sellout? Like,
I'm not going to this one. I'm going next weekend to the Wolves game, which we'll come on to next.
Yeah,
they're not going to this one.
So do you think it'll be a sellout? I mean, how have they priced tickets?
No, it will definitely not be a sellout. If we can't sell out the stadium for a Champions League night, I doubt we're going to sell it out for this one. I would say if we get to 40,000, we'll be doing all right.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, isn't it? In terms of like, I wonder what the drop off is. Like, many were speculating the Champions League game not being a sellout was because Sonny's not there, and we've lost a bit of a drop off with Korean fans obviously paying and coming to see some. So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
just as an aside, have you seen he's absolutely killing it out there?
Oh yeah.
He's got another goal and an assist in the last game. He's just it's like a cheat code over there.
Well,
Which is it's amazing because he just looks so far off the pace every time I saw him play for us in the last 12 months. Over there, he looks like the fastest player on the planet. He's like
level
yeah,
up.
just
Yeah,
I think
compared to
that
what he's done.
yeah, it's like men against boys.
Well, I'll put a score prediction on Doncaster, or Donny Rovers as they're affectionately known. I think we'll win. I think it'll be like 4-1 or something. I can actually see them scoring. Like I can see something happening and them scoring a goal somehow. But I think we'll beat them. You would hope so. I think it'll be 4-1. But you got a score for us, Graeme?
Yeah, I think we'll have too much for them. Maybe 3-0.
Yeah.
I don't think
Joao,
they
you
will
want to
score.
put a score? You got a score prediction, Joao?
I will be more conservative and 2-0.
2-0. All right, I'll take it.
Okay,
That's
yes.
fine.
I'd take it. I'd take it now
Yeah.
if it was offered. So,
But it's
yeah.
on TV there, you said, Graeme.
I think so.
Well, it's on.
It will be on ATV.
Yeah. It's definitely on here. It's just the kickoff time is absolutely appalling. It's
7:45, isn't it?
7:45 for you.
7:45. Yeah.
Yeah, 4:45 a.m. for me. So I'll probably watch that on delay.
Yeah, I was going to say
that's
I'll be
like-
watching that through my eyelids from my
Yeah.
bed.
But looking ahead, well, first off, the Wolves game. First thing we've got to talk about is the odd kickoff time. Why are we playing 8 p.m?
Yeah, I'm
on a
not looking
Saturday
forward
night?
to that though. It's 8 o'clock
Yeah.
kickoff on a Saturday. I mean, for me, it's a struggle to get a train home sometimes for an 8 o'clock finish on.
Well, right.
If when you get like sort of by the time you've added 10 minutes on at the end of a game, and if it's really busy around the stations, it can take a long time to get back to Waterloo for me. And I'm like, it's touch and go sometimes to get the last train.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm ideally. I don't know why this obsession with the TV moving matches to all over the place. It's never for the fans, right? I mean, the match attending
Well,
fans are all the ones that
originally-
always get screwed.
Originally, and I know this because I looked it up, a few weeks ago, the game was scheduled for 2 p.m. on a Sunday because that was 8 p.m. in Vietnam where I'll be to watch it. And then I looked and it had been moved. I assume it's been moved. Are we playing Champions League on the Tuesday? So that's why they've moved it. So there's enough gap.
Tuesday,
It must
let me
be
double- I
why.
think it is.
But why not? If they want it on TV, why not just put it at the lunchtime kickoff on the Saturday then, right? Why bugger about with it and make it 8 p.m. on a Saturday? But yeah, everything that is weird about kickoff times. 8 p.m. on a Saturday for a Premier League game is just very strange. Joao, is that commonplace for you in Portugal, mate? Are games on Saturday nights or in the afternoon?
Unfortunately, yes, it
Yeah.
is very common, and that's why I'm not seeing so often match live due to that reason. Also with my daughter, that at the end of a night, it's too late to come home
Yeah.
to watch a game, and I miss also that time that I was going with my dad to watch games at 3-4 p.m. Normally, it was always at Sunday, but right now with the TV rights, ruining everything, and all the matches in Portugal right now, the main matches are between Friday nights, 8-9 p.m. the starts, and also Saturdays, Sundays around that time.
Yeah, it's
So-
crazy.
So,
So
now I
it's-
think the Prem now they sometimes they have a Friday night game. They have a Saturday lunchtime game. There's
Which
no
Saturday
obviously
lunchtime has been around a while. That's fine. I'm okay with
Yeah, but then
Saturday lunch
there's no 3 p.m. Saturday televised games because of the
on TV.
blackout, which we've obviously covered
Then you've
before.
got the tea time game.
Yeah, then there's a 5:30 game, and now this 8 o'clock game. Which
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in Portugal and you've got the access to Premier League, you can watch football from 12
all the way
at
through.
12:30 till 10 o'clock at night. That's a lot of football. And then
Well, of
Sunday's not
course,
much better, right? So Sundays, usually they start, there's a lunchtime game again, and then you've got the 2 o'clock games, then the 4:30 games, and sometimes even a 7 o'clock game on a Sunday, and then sometimes Monday night games. And that's,
And
but then
our
that's
wives
just,
yelling.
yeah, exactly. And then,
Yeah.
and then the Euro, now this season, because of how many teams are in the European tournaments, they're playing 3 nights in the Champions League as well. It's like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Whereas it used to just be Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday was the Europa League and the Europa Conference. But now they're spread over 3 days. In fact, 4 days last week, I think it was.
Our opponent for the Saturday night game, Wolves. Joao, you'd be forgiven for being a Wolves fan, mate, given the Portuguese connection. They seem to have such a connection to Portugal. They've got obviously a Portuguese coach, and I think they've got about 5 or 6 players. But is Jose Sarr, is he the Portugal #1 goalkeeper that plays for them?
He's not the #1 keeper of Portugal right now. Right now, the #1 keeper he's a guy from Porto.
Okay.
But he's very good. I think it's the last time it's I know Diogo Costa. He's
Okay.
also very good.
Yeah.
And I think he's the third.
Yeah.
But yes, they not anymore. They had that connection before with all the coaches and the players.
Who's
coming
the
from Portugal.
is it Areola? Who's the
The manager.
agent? No, the agent that's linked with them.
Oh, yes. There's a connection there, isn't there? I know who that is.
So one of these
names
Portuguese super agents who, because Wolves were in the Championship and they were getting players that they had no right to get, and they got promoted with it. And it was basically, it's almost like a money laundering system, I think. That all these Portuguese players would come from all over Europe, would play for Wolves, and then they'd be moved on for big money. But,
No, I think he had a connection with Jorge Mendes.
Yeah,
Mendes,
Jorge
yeah,
Mendes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
He had that connection back in time, but I don't know.
I think he had a part
I think he
ownership of the
had-
club as well.
Yes, not anymore, but
Yeah.
he had.
Yeah, they still seem
Well-
to be very. Was it the Benfica coach has just been sacked? He was at Wolves as well, wasn't he?
He was. Yes.
Bruno Lage.
Back
Yeah.
in time, he passed through Wolves also.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a.
If we look back, they did good choice. It's not think of money laundry or something like
cool.
that from Jorge Mendes because they were cherry picking the players. If you look back, they had Vitinha. They had the other guy that unfortunately we lost him recently.
Oh yeah, Jota.
Oh, yeah.
Jota.
Yeah. Jota.
Um,
Yes.
and more that I'm not remember, but the other guy that went
But my point being,
was a 6.
most of those players had no right to be there, right? These are players that should have been picked up by much bigger clubs, but weren't. But because of the relationship, they ended up at Wolves because they would probably get to play more often at Wolves, and then it would increase their value, and they'd move on somewhere else.
Right now you can say that, but back in time, they were kind of that kind of players that went from the B squads or very young players that they were playing in Benfica or Porto, and the scout team or associated with Jorge Mendes did an amazing job to
no doubt, some amazing
hire them
talent come
very
through
early.
Yeah.
Well, and let's not forget the main connection there between Wolves and Tottenham, of course, Nuno and Portugal. And you know what? He's out of work right now, and Wolves have played 5 and lost 5. So maybe Nuno ends up back there. You never know.
I think there's more chance that he might end up at West Ham.
Yeah, fair, very good.
That's another one that
it's the rumor also here in Portugal right
really.
Now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
For West Ham,
they look absolutely awful. So
yeah,
what frustrates me, and it's like watching Ange's defense last season, right? You could see the same mistakes being repeated every match, like the zonal marking for corners and free kicks, where they're all marking the front post and the ball's heading at the back post and there's no one marking anyone at the back post.
Well,
it's like, if I can see this after about 2 minutes, why isn't a coach picked that up?
So it's like that kids game that you see all the kids
following the ball. Yeah.
For me, Graham Potter, I don't know. He was very good at Brighton. Chelsea, I gave him a pass because he had a million players to try and fit in the team. But then he's gone to West Ham and it's not been any better. So I just wonder, is he that good of a manager? I don't know.
I think, we often talk about Brighton, about some of the players that have played at Brighton and moved on look awful, right? Because
Basuma's a prime example.
Yeah, because I think they're a system. They have a system and the players fit the system. And
correct.
I think Potter's the same. The recruitment, the quality of the players, the fact that they were already. Who did he replace?
Was it
Moyes
was there and then
Chris Hughton? Then
sorry, I thought you asked me who did he place at West Ham. No, who did he place at Brighton? I think it was Houghton. I think it was Chris Hughton. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So, like, they were already in a pretty good shape. Like he didn't exactly walk into a problem job, and he didn't have a lot of pedigree himself, did he? Wasn't he managing in Scandinavia or something?
It was Norway, I think. Yeah, I think it was Norway. Yeah, but no, yeah, you're right.
Mulder or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe.
I think it was Osterden's, and they beat Arsenal, or they got a point at Arsenal in the Champions League.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
I remember.
That's when he started to come to, like, people started to pay attention to him. But no, you're right. There's been examples of players and him that have gone and left and not done the things they did there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping that Frank's not like that as an exception to that.
Well,
and I already see signs of that already in terms of the way that he manages the team and squad.
I think we do. I think we do as well. But so as far as it's hard to do this, right, knowing that we've got a game in between.
So you don't know who's going to play because
you don't really know
if there'll be injuries but there should be should be a lot of well-rested players for that game.
Yeah, about to say that. You would think that Xavi Simons doesn't feature against Doncaster, right? Therefore, I want to see Xavi Simons start against Wolves in the number 10. Now, what that means for left wing, I don't know, because Odegaard hasn't impressed me, Tell hasn't impressed me, and Brennan Johnson on the left, this isn't a thing. Like, I
think Tell might play against Doncaster because, of course, he can't play in the Champions League, so he'll maybe give him more game time through the cups as well.
Yep. Yeah. Well, as I said at the start of the show, a team that's played 5, lost 5, bottom of the table, I'll be worried that Tottenham are the ones that gift them their first win. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But
what about prediction then for that match?
I don't know. Weirdly, we've not been that great at home, have we? Is this the first home game we've played since we played in the league?
Bournemouth. Yeah. Oh, no, apart from the Champions League game, of course.
Well, Champions League, but the last Premier League game at home was pretty shit. So I'm hoping it's a lot.
And also, we seem to fare badly. There's not another international break the week after that, is there?
No, I hope not.
There's one coming up, isn't there? I think it's a couple of weeks after that, but that's always a bad sign.
Yeah.
Also, playing a Saturday game after a midweek game. I think the difference here will be that the amount of rotation we'll see compared to some of the other matches will be more.
The one thing I'll say for the Brighton game, yes, we didn't win the game, but we played well. I really do. I think we played well, and I think a lot of players played well in that game. So I don't know, mate. I don't know. I put a score on it against Wolves, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I think we beat them. Probably like a 2-0 or something, 2-1 maybe. I can see like them causing us issues. They're not shit. I don't think they are shit. I honestly don't believe they are. I think they're on a bad run of form at the moment, and it's the worst possible time. But I don't know. What do you reckon, Graeme? You're going to put a score on it, mate, because it's hard, isn't it? As you said.
I don't think they're terrible, but I think we're going to beat them 5-0.
I hope you're right.
I'm hoping that we have enough. To just overwhelm them.
My bet it's in the middle. Let's say it's 4-0. Because I also saw that, they are playing very bad.
Yeah.
And also, it's not a Portuguese coach that I like since the beginning. The stages in terms of tactics and also we don't match, let's say. And also I saw that they will play at the middle of the week. Is that correct, against Everton? So they will have also.
They'd also, and I don't suppose they've got the depth to really rotate that much.
Yes.
Compared to us.
So they will be on the line.
They didn't really make a lot of signings, did they? That I can even recall.
Signings from Wolves, like who they've signed. Nothing stands out to me. They almost lost Strand Larson to Newcastle, but he ended up staying.
Yeah.
No, nothing really jumps out to me. I mean, they've for whatever reason, they've not had a good start at all. But
it's a worry for them, isn't it? I would imagine that they can't. I think a loss to us, and maybe his job's really in jeopardy.
They quite possibly signed. So they signed a striker from Genk for an undisclosed fee. So
pushed the boat out.
I mean, they pushed the boat out apparently, but no one will tell us how much they paid. No, and look, it's similar with, interestingly, them and Villa. They're getting into that 2 points from 8 games territory, right? Because obviously no wins and 1 point for Villa. Like, you pick up a couple of draws and then all of a sudden you're looking down the barrel. So I
think the bringing back some 80s references, I don't think Villa could score in a brothel at the moment.
yeah,
They're
what is
really.
going on there?
I don't understand why they're so poor.
I
And I
don't
know
get
that
it.
they've sold players, right? And they've not really been able to strengthen that much. And they lost their 2 loan players that they had last season as well. They had Asensio and
Yes, they did have a sense. I forgot
Rashford,
that.
didn't they, as well? But I think the problem with
Yeah.
that is that they were massive gambles, right? Because they were both on a lot of money. So if you've seen their the percentage of revenue to salaries for that, it's like 92% of their money goes out in players' salaries. That's insane.
That's pretty.
And then they
mental.
you get their supporters going, "Oh, so that you're going to go bankrupt if you're not careful."
Yeah.
It's there to stop that happening. Not when look at the teams that have literally disappeared up their own arses over the past 2 decades. Bradford were a Premier League team. Premier League team.
Yeah.
Birmingham were, I know they're on their way back, but some of these teams disappeared into the wilderness. They've gone to the very bottom. And
Swindon.
then, so many teams that were, regular Premier League teams for a while.
Reading.
They bet the house on red and it came up black.
Yeah.
So like Leeds is the one that for me was they mortgaged the players to buy more players. And then when they didn't make it into Champions League that season, they absolutely did for them, didn't it? And Ridsdale made a right mess of that one.
No, indeed. Well, nothing more from me really, Graeme and Joao, other than to say thank you, Joao, for coming on, mate.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure to have you on. We love getting guests on from far afield, so great to have our first guest from Portugal on. Thank you for joining.
From countries where we are buying players more cheap.
Yeah, you buy them first, and then we buy them later at a higher price.
But
there's a markup.
It's
it's a sustainable business, right? Yeah.
Right now, you are buying directly to Brazil, and we need to look in the alternative markets right now.
Yeah, because now all the Brazilians are being bought up direct. So
and just enjoy the return. As I say, enjoy the return of Jose Mourinho.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, fun.
So just one side note. Thomas was in Albufeira with a friend of his over the weekend, and he messaged me on Saturday morning, I think it was, like, I want to go and watch the game. Can you? And I can't get hold of the official supporters club. And I'm like, got you. So I managed to get hold of the guys. There's a guy called Stephen Hand, and he runs the supporters club down there. Managed to find the pub they're meeting up, and he went and met them and watched the game with them. So that was cool.
In Albufeira, you are at home because
it's full of British people. Yeah. So he also agreed to come on. So he'll be another guest. So he'll be our second Portuguese. Actually, he's not Portuguese. He's English, but he is in Portugal. That kind of counts.
I also want to live vicariously through Thomas. It was Vegas, then it was Portugal. Where's he off to next?
New York in December.
Yeah. I encourage it at his age.
He's off to New York with his girlfriend for a few days.
Yeah, girlfriend, no kids, do it. Get out and travel. He's doing the right thing.
I don't know where else he's been. He's had about 3 or 4 holidays this year. He's done all right. And my daughter's even worse. She's been to 2 or 3 visits to Europe. She did Indonesia. She did 5 countries in Central Europe. So I don't know. They definitely got the travel bug. That's for sure.
We didn't touch on it before I actually go. One thing I will say is my viewing experiences for the few games coming up, I'm going to be in Vietnam. And that's another annoyance that the Wolves game got moved. So that's actually 2 a.m. in Vietnam for me, which it's the night we arrive, so I just don't know if it will be a thing until I watch it.
You know it will.
I figure I'll find a way. Then Champions League as well at a similar time. But then I do have a sweet spot kickoff. Leeds away is 6:30 p.m. in Vietnam.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's great.
It must be a crappy time kickoff here then. Is that lunchtime kickoff?
12:30 for you.
You're out there a long time, aren't you, Vietnam?
Just over 2 weeks, yeah. So we're travelling around.
Overthrowing the government or something?
No, I'm finding guests, Graeme. I'm finding.
That's it. I'm going to find every Spurs supporter in Vietnam and round them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially near the border with China.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, nothing more from me. But pleasure to meet you, Joao. Thanks for coming on. And Graeme, back over to you, mate. Come on, you Spurs.
Thanks to everyone who's listened in. Please like and subscribe to the podcast to tickle the algorithm so we can get in front of more Spurs supporters. And to close us out, come on you Spurs.
Let me be the one that you turn to, someone you can rely on closer each day.